Look at that! Wow! Hey, welcome to Story Lab. This week we're taking a look at the story of a guy who had to see it to believe it.
Hey, I'm Carter.
And I'm Zeke.
This month, we're talking about why the story of Jesus is good news.
And all the ways that it can give us hope.
All right, well, it is game night, and my boy came to play.
Indeed I did.
All right, let's see what we got here. Wait, sugar-free Candyland?
A much healthier option.
Connect 2?
Goes way faster than Connect 4.
Sorry, not sorry.
What? The kids love it.
You know, speaking of hope, I hope you have some other game options than these.
Anyone up for the game of life insurance? I know what game we'll play. We'll play one round of...
Get the picture!
You ready? Let's play it!
For this game, we'll look at different pictures, starting close up and then moving further out. All you have to do is guess the picture.
I picked the first picture, so Carter, you're up.
Round 1!
Okay, so what do we have here? Okay, so it's roundish and shiny, so maybe it's like a pebble or even a rock?
Nope, let's get a wider view.
Oh, it's an eye. Okay, so I see a bulgy eye, so
Yep.
ooh, it could be an alligator.
Maybe.
Or a snake.
Well, what do you think? Now, let's back all the way out to get the big picture.
Ah, it's a frog.
Well, technically, it's a North American green frog, aka Lithobates clamitans. It's native to the wetlands.
Oh, okay. Hey, partner.
Right. Let's move on.
Round 2!
Okay, so I see a red circle surrounded by green with kind of like a skewer. It's an olive.
It is a good guess, but no. Let's zoom out a little bit.
Okay, now I see different colors, black, white, surrounding the green and red. So maybe it's a circus tent? Like the part of the top? Is it though?
Let's get the big picture.
Oh, it's a dartboard. Oh, I used to love darts. But my mom always made me use the magnetic ones.
Hey, let's do another.
Round 3!
Oh, what do we have here? Okay, so it's big and orange, and I see like little tiny bubbles inside of it. So, hey, I'll say like a glass of orange juice.
Let's zoom out a little more.
Oh, okay, so maybe the big orange thing is like the sun, and I see an outer white part, so maybe the white part is like a bright summer sky. Am I right?
Well, is he right? Let's get the big picture.
An egg! Oh, it's so obvious now.
Well, you mentioned orange juice, and that does go with fried eggs.
And I did say sun, and that egg is sunny side up.
Partial credit given.
Okay, one more?
One more, let's do it.
I think you'll like this next one.
Round 4!
All right, so I see a lot of black and like a streak of white, and it's kind of round, so maybe the eye of some animal.
It could be. Let's zoom out a little bit.
Hey, wait a minute.
All right. Let's get to the big picture.
Somebody got into the photos from the Story Lab Christmas party.
I mean, your guess was right. It is an animal. A party animal.
Well played. But don't doubt that I will be personally deleting this.
Oh, I don't. But speaking of someone with big doubts, it's time for
The story before the story.
Today, we're in John, the 4th book in the New Testament.
But way before John, in the very beginning, out of a deep, deep love, God made an amazing world.
But when people turned away from God, the world was broken.
God had a plan to draw people back into relationship. So at the right time, God sent Jesus.
When Jesus grew up, he began traveling from town to town, teaching and healing. People were ready to make him king.
But when Jesus came to Jerusalem for the Passover festival, the religious leaders made plans to get rid of him.
And just a few days later, Jesus was sentenced to die on a cross.
Now, you would think this would be the end of the story, but guess what?
This is where our story starts.
Take it away.
Hey everybody, I'm Brian. And our story today begins in a very dark place, during the 3 days Jesus was in the tomb. But before we find out what happens next, we've got to back up a little bit to talk about one of Jesus' followers, a man named Thomas. Thomas was one of the 12 disciples, and just like Jesus' other close friends, he was probably feeling a lot of emotions after Jesus died on the cross. What do you think Thomas felt? Sad? Definitely, but also scared and confused too. That's because the disciples didn't fully understand God's plan, even though Jesus had explained it to them. So picture this. Jesus died on the cross on a Friday and then was placed in a tomb. And everybody's thinking, that's it, right? The whole story is over. But on Sunday morning, Mary discovered that the tomb was empty. Jesus is alive. Mary even spoke with him. Then she rushed back and shared the good news with the other disciples. Later that same day, 2 of Jesus' followers were traveling to a village called Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem. They were talking with each other about everything that had happened. Then, all of a sudden, Jesus himself showed up walking along with them. And as if that wasn't enough, later that night, Jesus suddenly appeared to the disciples inside a locked room. But here's the thing, Thomas was not with them at the time. And when his friends later told Thomas what had happened, he didn't believe them.
First, I must see the nail marks in his hands. I must put my finger where the nails were. I must put my hand into his side. Only then will I believe.
Now you can imagine that was a rough time for Thomas. All his friends were filled with joy that Jesus was alive, but Thomas just couldn't join in. Until 1 week later, the same thing happened again. The disciples were in that same locked room when Jesus suddenly appeared among them. And this time, Thomas was there.
May peace be with you.
Jesus turned to Thomas.
Put your fingers here. See my hands? Reach out your hand and put it into my side. Stop doubting and believe.
And finally, Thomas did believe.
My Lord and my God.
Because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen me, but still have believed.
Even though Thomas had been stuck in doubt, Jesus was never angry with him. In fact, Jesus met Thomas right in the middle of his questions. And in the end, it was the presence of Jesus that convinced Thomas, rather than a bunch of answers. The end.
So Jesus just showed up and invited Thomas to believe.
Even though Thomas had a lot of questions, he still trusted Jesus.
Yep. And the same thing can be true for us today.
So, what's our part in the story?
Well, no matter what's going on in our lives, God has called us to live with hope.
And hope is believing that something good can come out of something bad.
Exactly. We won't always get to know why some difficult things happen, but we can know that Jesus is always with us in the midst of them.
You know, it makes me think of a surprise party, or reading a book, or watching a movie. Sometimes we're not supposed to know all the details of everything all at once. And we really only see one tiny part of a really big picture.
Yeah, that's a good way to think of it. And you can know that no matter what questions or doubts you have, you can always take them to God.
Yeah, you might not get all the answers, but you can be confident that God is bigger than your question.
And that Jesus is always with you.
I think you got the picture.
Thanks, Brian.
Peace.
So, here's the thing. Whatever happens, remember God is bigger than your questions.
Yeah, and you can take all your doubts and questions to God.
God will never be angry with you for asking.
You'd never be angry with me, Carter, right?
Why do you ask?
Oh, no reason.
What you got there?
Oh, just a photo.
A photo of me?
Yep.
Oh, are we playing another round of Get the Picture?
Not exactly.
Wait, that's not me at the Cinco de Mayo party.
See?
Dancing?
You know it.
Okay, listen, man. I only dance bad, so I don't make you guys feel jealous.
Oh, sure. I've never heard that before.
Thanks for joining us in the Story Lab.
See you next time.
You want to see?
Yeah, go for it.
Can I get some music?
All right, let's see it. Okay. All right. No. Come down. Ugh. Well, you're right about one thing. I feel a lot better.
Baila que baila la luna, baila que baila mi amor.